Odi, wake up! Guesty, I'm trying to sleep. I want you to do the dishes. Now go. I told you. I'm gonna say it again. I'll do the dishes later. Don't disturb me again. Every time I ask Odi to do the dishes, he refuses. The reason why I ask Odi to do the dishes is to make Odi to be responsible. And him doing the dishes is a way to make him responsible himself. Yet he acts like a man-child. I don't know what to do anymore. As his imaginary friend, I always counted on him, yet wasted his potential. I don't even know what to do anymore. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Odi? Oh, hi, Odi. Guesty? How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. Just reading the Bible. I just want to ask you to do the dishes. Oh, no. I literally told you last time. No, me doing the dishes, okay? Alright, as you wish, but I have a plan in case you refuse. Yeah, what is it? Do you know what it is? No, I don't. Slipper discipline. Wait, what? Let's do some flip-flops with flip-flops. You better back away. Oh, I mean you no harm, Odi, but you not doing the dishes makes me think otherwise. Oh, come back! I'll be right back, okay? All right. Whoa! You better watch out, mate. Yeah. Let me in now. Odi? Hoi! Ah! Odi? Benvolio, do me a favor. Yeah, okay. Let me in your bathroom and we're gonna be trapped here, okay? Just do it. Odi? Odi! That was so close. What do you mean it's close? What happened to you and Guesty? Basically, Benvolio, for the whole season of Odi Maravilla skits, Guesty has been asking me to do the dishes, and every time he asks, I refuse. Yeah, lately we got in to a fight, and that's how it led to here. Me and you in the bathroom. It's every action has the consequences. In this case, it's worse. I should have done the dishes earlier. Yet, I'm so lazy. So lazy. Yeah, we could have do an agreement, a compromise. Yeah, you should. You should have. Odi! Odi! Come out now! What the fudge is going on? Cornelius? What are you doing here? No, it's because you two have been being a ruckus lately. Like, just now. No, it's just that Odi is being stubborn to me. And, yeah. Does it have to do with the dishes? Yes, it has to do with the dishes. Oh, God. You two really have to stop arguing about washing dishes. Oh. Really, it's getting too far. Besides, you and Odi should get along more. Careful. Say, how long you and Guesty been friends? Me and Guesty have been friends since, I don't know, a long time. But how long though? Well, actually, elementary school. Benvolio. Really? Back then, he used to be called Guestody. Then, one day, I just stopped thinking about Guesty. Eventually, I decided to bring him back. Not only because I want to have fun with him, but because to make him a character for my titular skit series. He didn't like the idea, and after a few failed skits, which I actually never uploaded them, I decided that I should make him more mature. I feel like it's a horrible idea to me because I'm not really a strict person, but when I do get strict, it gets a bit ugly. Wow. That is a pretty melodramatic but wonderful backstory about Guesty. You know, I was created to be a supporting character. So, are we breaking the fourth wall already? Yeah, you are. Right. Oh, Odi. You really are a wonderful... So, are you gonna apologize to him? No. He still needs to learn his lesson. Seriously, Guesty? He just can't control himself. I know, Cornelius, but he has to learn. And, Cornelius, would you mind get the other Odi clones here in this basement? Now! Oh, what the fudge! Fine! Duke! Cornelius? What took you so long? Listen, go downstairs right now, please. Fine. And they say betrayal is bad for those who are loyal to them. But I used it only when it's necessary. Get it? Hey Brutus, Cornelius, do me a favor. Go downstairs to help Guesty with something, okay? What's happening? What's happening with Guesty? Don't tell me. I'm not involved in the affairs of Odi and Guesty, so I'm just a regular Odi clone. Me neither. Yo, Guesty! Yes! Yes! My Odi clone brethren! So, is that all of you? Well, we need reinforcements, so...
Hey, you forgot about me, mate.
And me.
Oh, I brought these guys over here.
So, who's going to make Odi to do the dishes?
Me!
Me! Yeah! That's right!
Huh? Do you hear that, Odi?
Guesty has rallied the other Odi clones, I hear. Seriously, Odi. You gotta make amends with him. This is not gonna end well. But at least I have a gun here. He will come out one day. You know, we can't fight him with the other Odi clones, right? I know, but we have to try. 2 against many. Are you serious? Yeah, we have to. Are you serious right now? Yes, I am serious right now, Benvolio. Sheesh, Odi, you gotta calm down. That's it. Ultimate extreme. Whoa! Ah! Oh, fudge, no. No.
Rest in Odi.
Odi, you have gone too far, mate. Now's your chance to do the dishes and the laundry. Oh, not the laundry. Yes, the laundry, okay? Like I said, you have gone too far. You killed an Odi clone, so yeah. Odi, if you're the creator of the Odi clones and Guesty himself, then why didn't you teach him yourself?
Emolio? You're right.
Yeah. What an absolute loophole here. Yeah, Guesty. Looks like you lost. Yeah. Why? I failed. Guesty, why? I'm out. Wow. We lost, mates. So, I'm out of here. Same here. Me too. Really. Odi, I'm sorry. Guesty, I'm sorry. No, I am sorry. Really? You. I just killed an Odi clone. Guys, I feel like the ending has been rushed. Revolio? Oh yeah. Right. The ending is indeed rushed. I agree. My bad. I definitely agree.